नाभवतु सह नो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करमस्तु मा विद्विषावतु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Your voice is not audible, sir.
गजाननं भूतगणाधिसेवितं. Just a minute, I'll just switch off the fan. गजाननं भूतगणाधिसेवितं कपित्तजम्बोफलसारभक्षितम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणं नमामि विघ्नेश्वरपादपङ्कजं। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी। विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः। गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी। The story of Yudhishthir. He was the first son of Pandu, but not directly, but through the process of Niyoga. Niyoga is, in modern days, you can talk about it as what is it? A person who is not able to conceive of children. So he gets a sperm donor to get a child from his wife. Okay, surrogate? No, not surrogate mother. That's okay. So here we have seen that Vyasa donated his sperm to see that the line of Shantanu continued, because Bhishma could not do it because of his promise. Vyasa came and had the process of Niyoga, through which he had 3 children. One from Ambika, that is Vichitra Virya, I think. And the other from Ambalika. Yeah. So that was Chitrangada and Vichitra Virya, these 2 boys. And one from a servant maid. So that was the child born of that was Vidura. Vidura was supposed to be a very wise person. Similarly for Pandu. So Pandu was unable to conceive because of a curse. Therefore, he requested Kunti. So please invoke Lord Yama. Lord Yama is Dharmaraja. He is a lord who keeps everything in order. He is a lord of time, and everything goes according to time. Everything goes according to fate. So Yama represents fate. So Kunti, the wife of Pandu, she invoked the Yama to have a child. So Yama was a divine being. Therefore, the common rules applicable to human beings so did not apply to him. So he came down, and through the process of Niyoga, Kunti had a son, Yudhishthira. Similarly, two other sons, Bhima. Bhima was born from Vayu, and Arjuna was born from Indra. And Kunti had a co-wife, Madri, so she also wanted kids. So Kunti taught the mantra. This mantra was given by Durvasa Muni. Kunti served him, and he was so pleased. He blessed her with this mantra. He said, whenever, if you want sons, you can always invoke the Devatas. So this mantra, Kunti taught to Madri, and Madri had two children. They were twins. So one was Nakula, other was Sahadeva. They were born from the Ashwini Devatas, Ashwini twins, Devatas. So these five Pandavas, they were, as I said, as I told you earlier, they were born in the forest, and Pandu died, leaving Kunti and Madri and the children alone in the forest. Madri committed suicide at her husband's funeral pyre. She jumped into the fire and asked Kunti to take care of the children, Nakula, Sahadeva. Now Bhishma called Kunti and her children back to Hastinapura and said, uh, Pandu was officially the king, and naturally Yudhishthira will be the crown prince. So Yudhishthira was brought up as a crown prince, and Duryodhana, as usual, so he tried to dispose of the Pandavas. So he sent them to not Varanavata, something I think it's nearby, it's a forest only. So he had a beautiful wax palace made, and he sent Yudhishthira and his brothers to have a holiday. Okay. And Vidura, the vice minister, he came to know about this plan to set fire to that palace. And he secretly sent his uh, 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 workers to make a tunnel, to make a rat hole through which the Pandavas can escape. So the Pandavas escaped, and they kept wandering from place to place, making sure that nobody knows where they are. Okay. Ultimately, they came to a place in which there was a Brahmin house, and these people, they said that we are Gandharvas. I think Kunti also was there along with them. Kunti was a mother. So she and the five brothers, they lived in this house of a Brahmin, and they used to help out in all the chores. The Brahmin had a wife and one daughter, one son. And one day, they were found to be wailing away while the Pandavas were asleep. So Kunti got up, and she went and found out what is the matter. So the Brahmin said that here there is a Rakshasa who is troubling us. So we have made a contract with him that you don't trouble us. We'll send you one person in a cart full of food and two buffaloes. So every periodically, so one human being and two animals and a cartload of food will come to your door, so that you can be happy and you leave us alone. So this particular day was a turn of the Brahmin. So one of the family members had to go with the cart and the food to the Rakshasa. So Kunti said, don't worry. So I have my son He's a very strong person. So he will take care of this Rakshasa. So don't worry. And Bhima went in that cart and killed that Rakshasa and returned. Okay, so by now people started wondering who are these uh, Brahmins. So they said it's time for us to leave. Let us go to Drupada's kingdom, where a Swayamvara has been announced. So in the meantime, Krishna came and contacted them. Krishna was also a close relative. So he said, please go to Drupada's kingdom. There, this Swayamvara, Draupadi is uh, uh, will be putting her mala on the person who is excelling in archery. The test was that you have to look down into the water and see the reflection of the fish and shoot the fish without looking at it. You can look at the reflection. These Brahmins went there, and many kings, including Duryodhana and Karna. So they took part in this competition. Duryodhana failed miserably. Karna was about to lift the bow. At that time, I think Drona or someone, not Drona, someone shouted, Karna, you are not a born prince, therefore you cannot participate in this competition. So Karna had to withdraw, and there were no other kings left. So then Kunti told Arjuna, they were all dressed as Brahmins. So Arjuna went and shot the fish, and he won Draupadi. Now, when they Kunti was not there in the competition. She was at home. These brothers had gone. When they returned with Draupadi, Yudhishthira said, Mother, see what prize we have got, what bhiksha we have brought. And they had a custom of sharing the bhiksha, whatever was collected. One half will go to Bhima, the other half will be divided equally among the four brothers and the mother also. So Kunti said, whatever bhiksha, please share it among yourself. So this was a shock for Draupadi, but then she agreed when the Krishna and other people, they came and advised, even I think Vyasa also came to advise them. And they said that it is better that Draupadi marries all the five so that the brothers together are united, they will never separate. They'll be together because of Draupadi, and that is the strength of the Pandavas. Right? So finally, Draupadi also agreed, and they got married. And Bhishma invited them back once he came to know who Arjuna was really. He was not a Brahmin; he was one of the Pandavas. So the all the Kauravas were gathered there itself in Drupada's place. So they came to know, and they invited the Pandavas back to the Hastinapura. Now in Hastinapura, the Duryodhana was not very happy because Yudhishthira would become the king. Right? So he said, I want half the kingdom. Let the Pandavas create a new kingdom. So we'll send them to Indraprastha. So Indraprastha was a barren place. Now in Indraprastha, they got a divine architect to plan a new city. And it was so beautiful that Duryodhana himself started becoming jealous of that place. Yudhishthira also had a Ashwamedha Yaga. The Ashwamedha Yaga is to mark the coming of a new king who is a sovereign, and as a sovereign of all the other kingdoms. So the horse was released. The white horse, was used in this yajna. It was released with a flag, and Arjuna went behind the horse, and his whole army came behind him, going from place to place wherever the horse feels like going. Nobody should restrict the horse. Anybody who restricts the horse has to fight with Arjuna. Now it went to many kingdoms, and all the kingdoms, some were friendly kingdoms. They were happy to receive the horse. There were some kingdoms who were not really friendly, but they were afraid of Arjuna. So they allowed the horse to go. And of course, the Hastinapura, these are the cousins. So they said, after all, it's a cousin, so we accept the horse. So they allowed it to move until finally there was a big celebration to uh, mark the crowning of Yudhishthira. Duryodhana was invited. When he went, he was amazed at the city there. In one place, there was what looked like water, but actually was land. Okay. So Duryodhana went and was confused, land or water. He lifted his dhoti and walked, but he discovered it's only land. In another place, what looked like land was actually water, and there plump he went down sinking. Draupadi was looking from the window from her apartments, and she saw Duryodhana fall down, and she laughed. And Duryodhana got so angry that he said, I will take my revenge. I will see that you come to you fall at my feet. So he went away after the ceremony was over. So the kingdom was divided. Now Yudhishthira and his brothers, they were happily ruling the kingdom. Duryodhana making plans. His uncle Shakuni. Shakuni was brother-in-law for Dhritarashtra. So Gandhari and Shakuni, they were brother sisters. So Shakuni was a very scheming person. So he said, let us play a game of dice. We invite Yudhishthira to play a game of dice, and whoever uh, loses will have to surrender uh, the money or whatever is at stake until the Pandavas become paupers. So let us plan it that way. They invited Yudhishthira, and in those days, a king could not refuse an invitation to play dice because that was a game of kings. So Yudhishthira came, he played dice, he lost his money, he lost his clothes, he lost his brothers, he lost his wife also. So sick continuously, and Yudhishthira was addicted to this play. He did not know where to stop until finally, even his wife Draupadi also was lost. This was Duryodhana's plan. He said, I will take my revenge on Draupadi. Draupadi was dragged into the palace where these kings were sitting. And Duryodhana asked Draupadi, you come and sit on my lap. Why? Because now you belong to me. That was the limit. And Duryodhana asked Dushasana, his brother, so uh, to disrobe Draupadi. And in the process, Krishna came and blessed Draupadi so that that sari became an unending garment, to the extent that Dushasana got tired and he fell down and fainted. Now this was too much for all the Bhishma and Drona. So Bhishma got up and said, enough of this nonsense. So stop this and reverse the whole game. So take back whatever was lost, Yudhishthira. You go back with honor. So you have played like a king. Now we treat you like a king. We send you back with respect. So Yudhishthira sent back. Duryodhana was fuming. And he said, he asked Shakuni. Shakuni said, don't worry, we'll have another game. This time we'll have a game in which there's only one condition. The loser will have to go away to the forest for 12 years and 1 year in hiding. If they are found, if they are discovered while they're hiding, then they have to go back again for 12 years. Right? So now Yudhishthira and the brothers, they thought about it. 12 years they spent in the forest. Arjuna went and did tapas and he gained a lot of weapons. He also went around visiting different kings and getting their support for a possible war. And in the process, he married Subhadra, Krishna's sister. He also married a couple of other princes and Bhima. So he went to the Himalayas. Not sure for what purpose, but there he came across Hanuman. And Hanuman blessed Bhima, saying that if there is a war, I will personally attend the war. I will sit on Arjuna's chariot, and the symbol of a monkey should be put on Arjuna's chariot so that I can remain there without being seen on top of the chariot. So this was a blessing by Hanuman. So Bhima brought back a lot of uh, through his strength and tapas, through Hanuman's blessings, he became stronger. Arjuna became stronger. Now the 13th year, they had to be in hiding. They went to Virata's kingdom. So Yudhishthira became an astrologer and a companion to King Virata. Bhima became a cook and he started cooking in the kitchen. He was an excellent cook. Arjuna became a eunuch. He had a curse that for 1 year he has to spend like a eunuch. In fact, he was transformed into a eunuch. He was called Sairandri. And they called themselves as Gandharvas. So they are Gandharvas. And they asked for shelter in Virata's kingdom. They were granted. And Duryodhana was trying to find out where these people are hiding. He couldn't succeed. In the meantime, there was the King Virata's brother-in-law. So he fell in love with the Sairandri, that is Arjuna, who has become a woman now. Okay. So he pleaded with his sister, please send Sairandri to me because I want to have intercourse with her. Sairandri, Draupadi, sorry. Draupadi. And Draupadi told Bhima, so this is the situation. This Kichaka is a brother-in-law. So he has got evil intentions on me. Please, Bhima, you go dressed in a sari so that you are not recognized and kill that evil man. So Bhima went and slept on the bed waiting for Kichaka to come. When Kichaka came, he discovered this is Bhima and not Draupadi. They had a big fight. Kichaka and Bhima were equal in strength. So finally, they had a mace fight in which Bhima killed Kichaka. Now this news went to Duryodhana and he said, nobody but Bhima can kill Kichaka. Therefore, Pandavas are hiding in Virata's kingdom. Let us flush them out before the 13th year is over. So he sent one group of people from the north side to take away the cows from the border areas, to steal the cows. And the news came to Virata that some people are making mischief in the borders. So Yudhishthira and the other brothers, they said, we will come with you, Virata, and They marched to the borders. In the meantime, Duryodhana's army with the Bhishma and Drona, they came and attacked the capital city. So Arjuna had to defend the city alone. He fought single-handed and used a magic weapon to put all the Kauravas to sleep. Okay, so finally the war was declared, and Yudhishthira, so he said that we will go to uh, Duryodhana. Our 13 years are over. Now we want back our kingdom. Duryodhana refused to give even a single piece of land, even a drop of, even a land which will fit into a needle point. He said, flatly refused. If you want, please fight for the kingdom. And the fight started. Uh, Yudhishthira also was a mighty warrior. So everybody protected Yudhishthira because he's the actual going to be the king after the war. So all the brothers, they took turns at protecting Yudhishthira. And Arjuna and yeah, at the time, Bhishma was on the opposite side. So Bhishma was killed by Arjuna. And before dying, he didn't die immediately. He slept on a bed of arrows and he waited for the appropriate time to come. He had a wish that he can die whenever he wanted to. So he waited for the war to get over. He waited for a good period to come so that he can die in peace. And there, I think uh, Vishnu Sahasranama was told to him. I'm not sure by whom. It's again a beautiful story. Yudhishthira, at the end of the war, he lost all his uh, kinsmen, all his family, everybody was lost except the five brothers. So he was in great distress. Just like Arjuna had the problem before the war, Yudhishthira had it after the war. Okay, so again, a lot of counseling had to be done for him. Finally, Yudhishthira said, now I have had enough of ruling this kingdom. Now it is time for us to retire. So he handed over the kingdom to Arjuna's grandson, Abhimanyu's son, Parikshit, and the five Pandavas left for the Himalayas. Having reached the Himalayas, one by one, uh, the Pandavas started uh, giving up their body. So first Draupadi passed away while walking towards the peak of the mountains. Then Sahadeva, Nakula, then Arjuna also passed away. Bhima also passed away. Only Yudhishthira was remaining. Yudhishthira reached the top of the mountain, and there a golden chariot from heaven came. So, and invited Yudhishthira, please come. You have reached heaven, so you can enjoy the great kingdom of heaven. Yudhishthira said, no, I'm not interested in heaven. I want to be where my brothers are. So when he went to heaven, all the Kauravas were there, but no Pandavas. So he said, this is not the place I want to be. If the Pandavas in some other place, let me go there. Okay, so this Indra said, we are just testing you to see how much commitment you have to your brothers. So all this was just a test for you. All the warriors are here because they all fought a brave war. And please come and enjoy this place in heaven. So this is the story of Yudhishthira. Well, I thought of last week uh, some uh, some chapter 2 that we covered. was a bit, we had to do it very fast. So I thought I'll elaborate on it and make it more clear so that it becomes easy for everyone. Right? The second chapter is the most important chapter in Bhagavad Gita because it talks about Karma Yoga, it talks about Sankhya, it talks about self-knowledge, it talks also about Dharma, it also talks about Swadharma, and it talks about the practices which can make you ready for self-knowledge. Okay? Ultimately, self-knowledge says you are complete, you are free from death. Okay, let me share the screen. Okay. The second chapter said, Krishna says that there is no time I was not, there was no time when you were not. There was no time when these kings were not. There will never be a future when we shall not exist. This is verse number 12. That means we are all eternal. There is no real death. If there is no real death, then where is the question of sorrow, Arjuna? Now, yes, death may not be there, but definitely we lose the near and dear ones. We don't see them again. So we feel that loss. So how do you handle that loss? The next verse, verse 14, said that all experiences, the sense organs interact with the sense objects to bring about coolness, heat, joy, and sorrow. All experiences give you joy and sorrow. It can be sweet, it can be something bitter, it can be hot, it can be cold. These will keep coming and going, and they are temporary. Endure them, O Arjuna. As a soldier, you're supposed to handle difficulties. You should not run away from difficulties. Yes, life is not easy. Life is not easy. That does not mean you should retire from life. It only means you should prepare yourself better for life. Okay? You have to rise to the challenge, become bigger than what challenges you. So as a soldier, you're trained for that. So do not turn away and run because of difficulties. Three things make our life a problem. Three words I would say. One is difficult, other is unpleasant, third is boring. When you keep on repeating these three words again and again, your life becomes difficult, your life becomes unpleasant, your life becomes boring. What you think will come back to you. The more you think about these words, the more life becomes like that, right? So what's the solution? The solution is to see how to make the boring more interesting. What is boring? Something that you don't understand, something that you cannot, you are not interested in. If you're not interested in, then it becomes a boring. Why are you not interested? Because either you have not thought about it, or it is not within your area of what you can say, familiarity. It is something unfamiliar, or it is something that you don't understand. If you don't understand, put your mind to understanding it so that it becomes interesting. Okay? If your subject matter is boring, pay more attention to see How come other people find it interesting? So what is so interesting about it that other people are glued to it, right? You find maths is boring, but the same person, when you are doing PhD in maths, so maths becomes interesting. Okay, same fellow who found maths boring now has become a PhD scholar, so he has written books on mathematics. So how come the change? The change is when you start understanding little, you become motivated. So motivate yourself. Don't say boring. Whatever is difficult because you have not practiced it. The more you practice, the difficult becomes easy. And whatever is unpleasant, it is unpleasant because you don't want to face it. Okay? When you say, I am ready for the unpleasant, and the unpleasant, don't postpone, unpleasant, finish it off immediately. As soon as you have to deal with it, don't say tomorrow. Say, let me finish off the unpleasant so that the rest of the day is pleasant. Right? So the more you become ready for challenges in life, you will find that life becomes more and more pleasant. Therefore, don't wait for problems to come to you. You go and tackle the problems and say, I am ready. So Krishna says, Arjuna, please endure these challenges. Do not give in to them. The nice thing about facing challenges, if you face challenges with the right attitude, Krishna says, the next verse, verse 15, that person is fit for immortality, whom the opposites do not agitate, and who is the same in both joy and sorrow. If joy and sorrow are part of the game, you are playing the game of life like a sportsman. So when victory comes, you are grateful. When defeat comes, you accept it gracefully. So if you're able to deal with your life situations, you are not a slave of situations. You become independent of situations. Now that independence is necessary if you want to enjoy the knowledge of the absolute. Okay. So dealing with the relative prepares you for enjoying the knowledge of the absolute. And what is the absolute? The next verse 17 says, know the indestructible as that which pervades everything in creation. The self, which is the truth of your body and mind, is also the truth of this universe. So the same truth that is the ground reality of the universe happens to be the same truth which is within you. Therefore, you are not located inside your body. You are not located within creation. You are the basis of creation. So the reverse is true. The creation is based in you. Your body is based in you. Your mind is based in you. Where are you based? You are not based in anything else. You are rooted in yourself. You are independently existing. Everything else exists under certain conditions. When those conditions change, the body disappears, the world also disappears. You exist without conditions. You exist absolutely. That you will never disappear, and that you is indestructible. Therefore, no one can destroy that which is imperishable. So this is the truth Krishna teaches about the absolute and the relative. So one problem is solved. Absolute, you don't have to have sorrow. What about the relative? Well, relative is to be dealt with. Therefore, face it and prepare yourself for the knowledge of the absolute. Having talked about the relative and absolute, Krishna goes to the duty of a warrior. Krishna says, even considering your personal dharma, you need not get agitated. There is nothing as deserving for a Kshatriya as participating in a war against injustice. It's a great privilege to fight on the side of dharma against injustice. Now, this is different from a religious war. This is not a religious war. This is a war on principles. So, dharma is the principles of life. So, there is a certain moral principles for which you are fighting for. And as a Kshatriya, it is your duty to protect those principles, to protect the righteousness, to protect the people who live righteously. Therefore, this war has come as a chance for you to prove your bravery and also to prove your commitment, to show off your talents. And well, a Kshatriya is born with, you can say, with the thought that my death does not matter. What matters is protecting righteousness. So if I'm given an opportunity, well, I should be happy to fight, even though there are other people whom I love and I don't want to kill. That should not come in the way of my duty, right? So duty comes first. So if you think in that way, you cannot say, I will not fight. It is your duty to fight. Verse 34 says, if you withdraw from this war, people will forever heap scorn on you. For a self-respecting person, being notorious is something worse than death. People will laugh at you and they will say, Arjuna was afraid and he ran away. In fact, in many books, the word fear is used for karpanya dosha. Okay, karpanya dosha is kripa. Kripa is compassion. So karpanyam is a sense of overwhelming sense of compassion. This was what Arjuna felt. But people make a mockery of it and say Arjuna was afraid, which is not really true. Arjuna was not afraid at all. He was confused. Should I fight? Should I not fight? Okay. So at the end of it, the verse 38, Krishna says, treating joy and sorrow, gain and loss, victory and gain with equanimity. May you engage in this war. That way you will not incur sin. Arjuna had given a lot of arguments. Fighting this war involves sin. Destroying the entire clan, the entire community will be destroyed. There will be no traditions of dharma. That will go to the dogs. And the women also will not have anybody to protect them from being uh, insulted and mistreated. What will happen is there will be no children going through the tradition of dharma. They will not uh, live a life of dharma, and definitely the ancestors, they will not get their ritual oblations of tarpana and pinda. And also our children, because they are bereft of traditions, they will live a life without dharma, and the entire clan will end up not in heaven, but in hell. Krishna says, don't worry about consequences. Consequences are not in your hand, but action is in your hand. Take charge of your action and leave the consequences to the Lord. Having talked about duty, now Krishna comes to the concept of Karma Yoga. What is Karma Yoga? Karma Yoga is, Krishna says, make your mind single pointed in resolve, Arjuna. The unresolved minds are distracted and they go into diverse routes. So the mind can go from one place to another without really staying there. So by the time you think of one thing, something else has come up and your mind is distracted. And this is endless. If you don't know how to resolve your thoughts, if you do not know your priorities, your mind will be endlessly going from one thing to another. So, Karma Yoga helps you to make your mind resolved. The next verse, Krishna says, those people who hanker after pleasure and wealth, okay, they are constantly on the move. They can never be happy with themselves unless and until they are pursuing something, some sort of profit, some sort of enjoyment. The problem with such type of thinking is when you get that enjoyment, it has no more value because you are looking for something different from something more. No matter how much wealth you have, you become addicted to wealth. No matter how much pleasures you have, you become addicted to pleasures. Therefore, you move from one thing to another, constantly looking for some change. Okay. So you've seen all the places in your country. Now you want to go abroad and see those other places. Now, having seen the other places, you are not satisfied. Now you want to go to space. Okay. This is the type of people who do not really know what they want. So have a certain clear goal in life. Your goal is to fulfill yourself as a human being. So you need to do karma with the right attitude. What is the right attitude? Verse number 47 says, you have independent choice only over your action. Karmani eva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. You do not have choice in guaranteeing results. The results are not in your hand. It comes from the law of karma. You can only invoke the law of karma by doing what is possible. Okay, so action is in your hand. Choice of action is in your hand. The result is not in your hand. Let us say that you planned, you are walking across a road. You can say, I want to go to the other side of the road. So you took your first step. Now that is in your hand. You can choose, you can look at the lights, the traffic lights, you can look at the traffic, and then you took the first step. And when you went into the middle of the road, from nowhere, one truck came and hit you. Right? So what you wanted to do, you wanted to go to the other side, but you ended up somewhere else. Okay? You ended up in the hospital and you're looking at the hospital ceiling, asking some fundamental questions. Who am I? And where am I? Okay. Normally, this is a question that Vedantis asks, who am I and where am I? Right? In hospital also suddenly you became very philosophical and asked these questions. What happened? The result is not in your hand. Action is in your hand. So the action can be proportional to the result can be proportional to your action. There are only 4 types of results. One is you can get what you want. Exactly what you wanted, you got. Okay, you managed to cross a road. Second is you get less than what you want. Okay, you cross the road half and then you have to wait until you can cross the other half. It got delayed because when you went to the middle of the road, you discovered it was not really free of traffic. So you got less than what you want. You couldn't reach the other side immediately. Or you can get more than what you want. Not only did you go cross the road, but you also met a friend in a vehicle who said, come on, jump in, I will drop you home. You got more than what you want, right? Or you got the opposite of what you want, you ended up in hospital, right? Now, what is in your hand? The choice of action is in your hand. That you can say, yes, karmani eva adhikaraste. But phaleshu, you don't have a control over the thing. Ma phaleshu kadachana. You have no control over the results. Therefore, do not try to guarantee results. Don't depend on results. You cannot guarantee results. You cannot depend on results. But definitely, you can expect a good result. Now, here is where the a confusion about expectation. People say you should not expect results. Now, that is not a good translation, because if you don't expect results, then you will not open your mouth, because if you want to talk, you expect the other person to listen, right? If you don't expect the other person to listen, opening your mouth is a foolish exercise. You definitely expect results, but then you do not expect a guarantee of results. The result may happen, it may not happen. There are these 4 types of results. You get what you want, you get less than what you want, more than what you want, or something totally opposite of what you want. Are you ready for all these 4 types of results? All these 4 types of results, if you say, no, I got opposite of what I wanted, so I feel cheated. Now, the results are not determined by you or your brother-in-law. The results are determined by the law of karma. Okay? And the law of karma is laid down by the Lord. It is not like your constitution, which you can change every year. Okay? Constitution can be changed because a man made. But the laws of the Lord is not man-made. Therefore, it cannot cheat you. It will only give you the result that you deserve. If you say, I did good, but I got a bad result, that means there is some backlog of results from previous lifetimes. If there are a backlog of results from previous lifetimes, then that will affect your present experience. So it is not only your present efforts that determine the result, it is also the backlog of efforts or non-effort in the past, your right action or wrong action, that can affect the result. This is normally what we talk about as good luck and bad luck. Good luck is nothing but your past karma in which you have done something good, because of which you're getting the result now. Okay, you don't see the connection between the action and the result. Therefore, you say it is adrishtam. Adrishtam means unseen. Good luck, bad luck is nothing but the result of your past, which are unseen, but you see it only when the result comes. If the result was good, you say, I was lucky. Okay. And if the result was unexpected, you say, I was unlucky. So whatever it is, so trust the law. The law will not cheat me. And the law comes from the Lord. Therefore, the result comes from the hand of the Lord. So sukha, dukkha, whatever comes, I don't react to it. I accept it gracefully and gratefully. Can you get this? This is a typical sportsmanship spirit in which you don't complain, but you just play the game. Action is in your hand. Result is not in your hand. Do not try to manipulate the results. Just focus on your right action. If you do the right thing at the right time, you will get the right results. Maybe not immediately, but if you keep on doing the right thing, in the long run, right results will add up. It will add up to right results. Therefore, keep a long-term view. Don't be short-term. Okay, the verse 48 says, Arjuna, do all your activities being rooted in yoga and free from sangha, free from dependence. Be equanimous in joy and sorrow, for equanimity is yoga. Okay, the ability to deal with sorrow and joy. Just like Rama, when he was declared as the crown prince, his face was smiling. When he was told you have to go to the forest, Rama said, I am ready. Okay. So this is the readiness. You don't complain, you just assimilate the situation and act accordingly. Right? So this is called yoga. Equanimity is yoga. Yoga is one of the, equanimity is one of the definitions of yoga. It is not the only definition. Right? If you look at it, samatvam yoga uchyate. Okay. Okay. Do all your activities being rooted in yoga and free from dependence. Be equanimous in joy and sorrow, for equanimity is yoga. Okay, that is one of the definitions. Another definition of karma yoga is okay, I seem to miss that place. If you have this attitude of karma yoga, you're ready for wisdom. So what is wisdom? You're ready for self-knowledge. What is self-knowledge? 55 says a person is said to be rooted in self-knowledge when he or she is able to let go of all distracting desires in the mind and is happy with oneself by oneself. If you're able to accept yourself totally with all your limitations, with all your problems and all your capacities, if you're very honest to yourself, you don't cover up your limitations, you don't bluff, you see yourself as you are, and you say, I am okay. In psychology, this is a very big thing. I am okay, you are okay. If you have this attitude, life becomes beautiful. It does not mean I am perfect, you are perfect. Okay? I have my problems, you have your problems, but I'm okay to deal with my problems. You're okay to deal with your problems. Therefore, I'm okay, you're okay. Right? So this is a very important aspect of transactional analysis. I am okay, you're okay. We all have to grow to that level. We start in childhood by saying, I am not okay, you're okay. Parent is okay, I am not okay. I have to be taken care of. As you grow up, you start rebelling and you say, I am okay, you are not okay. You start blaming the parents and others. Why? Because you're not doing what I want. You are not okay, I am okay. And sometimes out of frustration, you say, I am also not okay, you are also not okay. That's called frustration. And you grow up and become a mature person. Finally, you look back and say, I went through a lot of problems. I have dealt with them. Therefore, I am okay. You are also okay. Okay, this is called maturity. And the person of self-knowledge is said to be a person who says, I am absolutely okay. Relatively, I may not be perfect. That is okay. I am dealing with imperfection. Therefore, I'm okay. But at the absolute level, what am I looking for? I'm looking for ultimate fulfillment. I'm looking for ultimate freedom, ultimate, the purpose of retirement is I don't want to get anything more. I don't want to be anything more. I am complete as I am. Okay. Very often people say retirement. Retirement is a sense of fulfillment. Once I come to that point, there is nothing for me to do or not to do. Therefore, I am free to choose what I can do. I don't have to do anything, but I'm free to do everything. Can you appreciate this sense of retirement? I don't have to do anything, but I am free to do everything. There is nothing for me to do or not to do. There is nothing for me to achieve or not to achieve. I am just living out my life. Travel light and make your journey a pleasure. Do not hold on to things. Do not run after things, but do not run away from things also. Learn to handle your life as a game and have that sportsmanship spirit. Whatever comes is beautiful. Whatever does not come is beautiful. Whatever I have gained is beautiful. Whatever I lost also is a beautiful experience. Sadness also is a beautiful experience. Let me treasure all these experiences. They will not last, but I can look back and say, see how far I have come. I've gone through all these experiences. Every experience has made me a wiser person, a better person, a mature person. So this is a way of enlightened ones. That person, verse 57 says, that person is well rooted in self-knowledge if he is free from attachment and being objective towards good and bad without being overjoyed or depressed. The next verse says, that person is well rooted in self-knowledge when he is able to regulate his sense organs while interacting with objects. If you know where to stop and how far to go, anything that you do, okay, if you have no control, that action takes charge of your life. So if you are playing a game, sometimes the game becomes so serious that you get carried away by it. Don't allow the game to carry you away. Learn to enjoy the game. That means you should know where to stop also. If you don't know where to stop, then it is no longer a game. Correct? A lot of people are addicted to phones and addicted to cards, addicted also to drinking, etc. If you do not know where to stop, then you are not drinking, the drink is drinking you. Don't allow situations to overwhelm you. Learn to regulate your activities. That is possible if you have managed your desires. If you are not regulated your desires, you don't know where to stop. If you have regulated your desires, you can let go. What I have fulfilled is beautiful. What I have not achieved also is beautiful. So if somebody has got some award, you can either feel jealous of that person or you can congratulate this person and say, wonderful, what I did not get, you got. Many of our parents feel that way. My child should be better than me. Okay. What I couldn't enjoy in my lifetime, if my child is able to enjoy that, that is something great for me. So I can become proud by seeing myself in the eyes of my child, by seeing my child through my eyes. Okay, he has achieved a, a, a fame which I never knew. So instead of feeling jealous, I say he is my son, my daughter, and he has achieved something that is a credit for me. So be happy with situations. Do not complain about situations. Such a person is able to handle relative life and is also able to enjoy absolute self-knowledge. So this is called a Sthita Prajna, a person who is deeply rooted in knowledge. You are the problem and the solution. Krishna talks about why we get into distress, why we get into trouble. He says, Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha, verse number 60. Verse number 60. When you keep on constantly thinking about something, You keep on mulling on it, you keep on contemplating on it. Contemplating on desired objects makes a person mentally connected to them. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshu upajayate. You get carried away by that thought and you get attached to that object. Sangat sanjayate kamaha. That attachment becomes desire. Kamat krodaha abhijayate. From desire comes anger. If somebody comes to prevent my desire being fulfilled, I become angry on that person. Okay, kamat krodaha abhijayate. Desire converts into anger. Krodat bhavati sammohaha. Verse 63. Anger gives rise to delusion, and delusion affects your memory. It colors your memory. A weak memory affects your judgment, and poor judgment leads to destruction of your life. So who is destroying your life? Please tell me. Nobody is destroying your life but your own thinking, right? So your likes and dislikes, if you don't learn to regulate them, they will destroy you. So you need to take charge of them. One who is free from likes and dislikes and moves among the world of objects with regulated and conducive mind, such a person attains shanti, attains tranquility. And one who does not have shanti, okay, who has shanti? The one who is regulated your likes and dislikes. If you don't have that sthirata and sthira buddhi, if you don't have vyavasayatmika buddhi, a mind that is well regulated, forget spirituality, you cannot even enjoy material wealth also. Why? Even to enjoy materially, you should have a mind ready for enjoying. If your mind is constantly doubting and complaining, even what you have, you will not be able to enjoy. Therefore, a person who has got wisdom is a person who is fully available to enjoy whatever is there. And when things are gone, the person does not hanker or feel lost. You are never lost because you are eternal. What is lost? Something is lost. You are never lost. You are eternal. Keep this message. You are the problem. You are the solution. In fact, that is why Krishna smiled when he told Arjuna, you are grieving for what does not deserve to be grieved. He smiles because there's nothing, there's no room for grief. Arjuna, why are you in tears? Yes, I agree that you have a problem, but you also have the solution. Okay, every problem comes with the seed of a solution. Are you nurturing that seed or are you killing that seed? The more you contemplate on the problem, the bigger it becomes. The more you focus on that seed of the solution, the seed becomes more effective. Okay, the seed grows into a plant. So every problem comes with the seed of a solution. Therefore, you are the problem, you are the solution. So I think I've summarized chapter 2. For those who want this translation, this is my translation. It's a free translation. I will send it to you. Right? So any questions? Sen Gupta ji?
Yeah. Anybody has any question, please?
Yeah, Acharya ji, Mahadevan here.
हाँ जी बोलिए महादेव.
It says, take charge of your actions. Do not worry about the consequences. Consequences will be decided by the Lord. Okay. So you just take charge of the actions. But what is happening in today's world is just the opposite. When we tell the student, aim for first rank. We tell the college student, aim for IIT. When you go to the office, they say aim for the CEO. So there, of course, we are taking the actions, but we also aim for the results also. So how does this
Well,
contradict?
a very good question. I told you the word expectation is not the right translation for results. It's not don't expect results. In fact, I would say you plan for results, you work for results, you ensure results by seeing what can go wrong and prevent it, right? Definitely you expect results, you pray for results, you pray for miracle also, correct? You pray for results, you pray for miracles, but understand miracles don't happen every day, right? Therefore, don't expect a guarantee of results. Is this a good translation? Don't expect a guarantee of results because results are not in your hand. If you get it, you say, I am lucky, thank God. If you don't get it, well, you say, I was unlucky, but I will manage. I take it gracefully. I did not get the expected result, but that's okay. That is part of life, right? It's not a sin to have failed. It's not a sin. It's part of life. I'll become wiser in the process. So don't expect a guarantee of results. Okay, you better expect results. You hope for the result, you pray for the result, you work for the result, you expect the result, but you cannot expect a guarantee.
True. But things have become so competitive.
Exactly.
Unless and until
So
you
what
don't.
we do is we try to take shortcuts to get results.
True.
So we go under the table or we cut corners,
Okay.
right? So in the whole process, yes, that is also a choice. That is also in your hand. You can choose to go the wrong way. Okay. But you have to be ready for that. That also has got consequences.
Consequences. Correct.
Are you ready for that?
Correct.
Okay.
Thanks.
So not only that, you can say, I'm a smuggler and I'm planning success. So cutting corners and going the wrong way around is my way to success. So is that karma yoga? I have choice in action. I don't have choice over the result. So I will do my best to get the result. So that best is doing the wrong ways. Is that karma yoga? Well, no, karma yoga involves living by certain rules that are laid down by the creator. The creator has got a code of ethics. That code of ethics, playing by that code of ethics is my worship of the Lord. That is the other part of karma yoga. Playing things by the cards, okay, not going against the rules, not going against the laws, is my, what you can say, a return gift to the Lord. The Lord has given me hands and legs. That is his gift. What is my return gift? My return gift is to play by the rules and do the right things. So doing the right things in the right way for the right reasons. So that is my worship of the Lord. Okay, so two attitudes. One is Ishvara Arpanam, dedication, gratitude. Other is Prasada Buddhi, acceptance and readiness. So if both are there, you are a Karma Yogi.
Any other question?
Sen Gupta ji, I think this class was not very heavy.
No, it was not it. But insightful. It's pretty
Yes,
insightful.
yes. Thank you.
You could learn.
You could learn.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe next time I'll have a quiz for all of you. Okay. I'll design a quiz and maybe let us see how well you do. Okay. It's just playing the game. You don't have to
Or we
worry
can
about
start
result.
also,
Yes.
or we can start with the question answer session for 5 minutes. We can start with that.
We can start with that. Right. Right.
Yes.
Yes,
So
sir.
that people can reflect and come back with the
Correct.
question.
Correct. Okay, we'll end with the prayer. Swasti prajabhya paripalayantam न्यायेन मार्गेण महिं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं शोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सत्कमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ
So thank you, Acharya ji. We look forward to having your next session. Thank
हरि
you
ओम
very much for a
हरि
blessed session.
ओम
Thanks.
Thank you so much, sir.
वेलकम
Thank you very much,
वेलकम
sir.
वेलकम
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
ओम जी थैंक यू